Now, lawyers have suspended their plan to boycott courts from Monday to protest blatant violations of rights and disobedience of court orders by state and public officers. In a statement, Law Society of Kenya President Isaac Okero, however, said the other components of the Yellow Ribbon campaign will move forward as planned. The lawyers' body had planned to have lawyers boycott services countrywide, apart from those handling election petitions, which are under strict timelines. The lawyers are particularly concerned by the recent conduct of top police chiefs who ignored court orders to produce Miguna Miguna in court and eventually deported him to Canada. They are also angered by the government's refusal to comply with court orders to reinstate a broadcast of 3 television stations which remained off air for a week for going live from NASA leader Raila Odinga's swearing in at Uhuru Park. Well, let's now speak to the LSK President, Isaac Okero. He joins us live by way of phone. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Okero. Thank you for joining us here. What are the other components of the Yellow Ribbon movement that will go ahead even with this suspension?
Thank you, Kisa. Well, the postponement of the boycott notwithstanding, other aspects of the Yellow Ribbon campaign will proceed. Today, you will see all advocates wearing yellow ribbons, and this signifies protest at the high levels of impunity that we have seen, which have been marked by the flagrant disobedience of court orders by public officers and state officers. What we will have on Thursday is a series of peaceful marches that will be observed throughout the branches of the law sector. And we have constituted a Yellow Ribbon Campaign Memorandum Committee, which shall be collecting evidence and information of disobedience of court orders and violation of rights. In fact, they're having their inaugural meeting, I think, either today or tomorrow. And this information shall be collected from the branches through the membership. We want to put together a comprehensive memorandum which will be able to show to all arms of government the extent of the problem that this high levels of immunity actually threaten the rule of law in Kenya.
Why did you opt for the postponement? Because Kenyans had expected that this would begin today.
Well, the matter of a boycott is something that requires proper planning. So after consulting with the membership and the leadership, both at the level of the Council of the Law Society of Kenya and the branches, it was determined that it is best that we postpone it for now and allow for proper planning of this option.
How effective do you think this particular campaign will be against especially the state and very powerful officers of the government who have been disobeying court orders so far?
Well, I think it needs to reflect the determination of all Kenyans who value the rule of law that this campaign must be sustained. In fact, it is Law Society of Kenya's invitation to all Kenyans of goodwill who are concerned that the rule of law is under great threat. They should wear the yellow ribbon in solidarity with this campaign. And there is one aspect of this campaign that I should emphasize. We have embarked on a strategic litigation strategy, in terms of which we shall be filing public interest litigation cases against state and public officers who are acting with impunity. And in addition to seeking specific orders and declarations against them, we shall be seeking personal liability. This is the only way to bring impunity to an end.
President of the LSK, Isaac Okero there. Thank you very much for speaking to us here on KTN News Desk. And still on the same issue, lawyers in Kakamega currently speaking to our reporter, Willie Lusige, on the same. Let's go over there live and listen in. All right, Willie Lusige, our reporter, is now joining us live from Kakamega to have a conversation with lawyers from there on, of course, the halt of the boycott that was expected to start today. Willie, what are the lawyers in Kakamega saying?
Actually, Akisa, as we know, the LSK had promised to boycott court sessions, saying that the government has been playing a major role in doing what we call defying court orders. We have seen this happen a few weeks ago after some rulings made in court. And with me here is the chairman for LSK in the Western region. Maybe you can join me and tell us your name. And I can see you have a yellow ribbon. What does it mean today?
The yellow ribbon stands for the fact that we are standing by the rule of law as directed by our society, and we are concerned with the growing incidences of disregard for court orders. And by adorning this ribbon, we are basically asserting that the rule of the law must be obeyed at all times for us to maintain the dignity of the court and for us to realize that justice must be delivered. Then we must obey what the court directs the parties. Yeah.
Have you today boycotted any court session so far?
The boycott was postponed, and I am aware that we have a peaceful demo on Thursday. So we had to heed the direction of the National Council. Yeah.
There have been rumors that LSK itself has been divided. Is it true about the boycott?
No, that is not true. LSK is not divided. We have a national office which issues guidelines on how we are going to take on issues. We expect that the national office is constantly in consultation with various stakeholders, and that is why we arrived at a consensus of postponing this particular boycott until further notice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So which are the major reasons why you agreed to postpone it?
There was need to engage more stakeholders, and there was a need to also balance the effect of the sudden boycott on all service beneficiaries at the judiciary. So we have to make arrangements for clients, we have to make arrangements for remandees, we have to make arrangements for even the court to be prepared that we are going to stage a boycott. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what will be your next move after maybe you boycott the sessions and there's no action taken?
I want to believe, even though I might be preempting, but I want to believe the society will have to go to court and against those individuals who are contemptuously disobeying the court orders. And this is a resort that must be, as a matter of requirement, as a matter of procedure, to have those individuals who hold public offices and they disregard court orders be punished for that.
You want maybe some members of the government who have played a major role in defying the court orders to be taken to court. Who are they?
I may not be in a position to pinpoint who the society will be narrowing down to, but we are aware generally the police has disobeyed, the immigration has disobeyed, and various other stakeholders have also disobeyed. And we have to realize that it is not just this time. We also saw when the orders regarding the media shutdown were served, there are also disregard for those orders. So this is a growing and worrying trend that has to be wholesomely undertaken to ensure that the greatest effect is caused against those contaminants. Yeah.
So what's your take to your fellow members and also the public during these tough times?
One, with regard to members of the society, I think it is time that we must stand up to the law that we swore to obey and respect. And at the furthest extension of that oath, we must ensure that court orders are respected. Being critical stakeholders in the judicial system, we must ensure that once we are aware of orders and parties who've disregarded those orders, then the ordinary course must follow the law, in that we must take initiatives and prosecute these individuals who disobey the court orders through courts of law. Two, the courts must also be not just be alive to those disregards, but must be ready and willing to also punish, because it will require more than one stakeholder to ensure that the courts are respected for their orders. So we are hoping that the courts are also going to be aggressive enough. They are not going to be cowed in punishing severely for contempt of court orders. And for clients, I want to believe that if a client is well notified that you are not going to court because a court order has been disobeyed, there must be understanding, because no client will want that he has an order in his favor and someone else is disregarding, and both you and the client and the courts have their hands tied down. So I want to believe this is a cause that is going to be supported by all role players, so that in as much as there will be momentary inconvenience, but it will be worth the pain. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So to our viewers, it's now clear that the boycott of court sessions has been suspended until further notice, and maybe we are hoping to see that they'll protest on Thursday as they have promised. Back to you, Akisa, the studio.